5K New Jersey. My name is Jenna Heilman, Executive Director, and I am so thrilled to bring this event to you all virtually today. You know, we've had quite an interesting couple of years with introducing Head for the Cure to the New Jersey area, and then COVID hit. And last year we had to adjust the date because of the timing, and now we're back in June, and we know how challenging it has been for everyone across the country, but especially in the tri-state area throughout this entire pandemic. And we are so grateful that each of you have continued to show up, show your support because of the love and the passion that you have for the brain tumor community. We've been so honored to welcome all of our Voices Against Brain Cancer past participants to our events. In 2018, Mario, Adam, and Eric Lichtenstein came onto the board of Head for the Cure and joined forces with our efforts because we realized that two strong organizations coming together was the best way for us to continue to fight, to raise money, to support clinical research and patient programs to help those patients and caregivers across the country. So we're so grateful for all of the work that you all have done, all of the work that Voices Against Brain Cancer has done, and our amazing efforts to continue to propel our important missions forward. And guess what, New Jersey? If you are watching this and you realize that you haven't quite registered yet and you want to get that super soft, comfortable green participant shirt and your finisher medal, there's still time to register. You can do so by going headforthecure.org/New Jersey, and you can register through Monday, June 7th. There's also plenty of time to donate. Donations will remain open for several months. So still encourage your friends, your family, coworkers, even strangers to tune in and join the fight to support this amazing cause. As I mentioned before, Voices Against Brain Cancer is a part of the Head for the Cure Foundation. They have brought their efforts and their passion to our board, our participants together as we continue to raise funds to support brain tumor research and patient programs. In 2003, Voices Against Brain Cancer was created in honor of Gary Lichtenstein, who passed away from a glioblastoma. So by bringing these two like-minded organizations together, we are creating a community of supporters that surpasses what either of us have done individually. We're so honored to have the Voices community a part of the Head for the Cure Foundation. Head for the Cure really exists for three main reasons. It was started because of the legacy of Chris Anthony, who passed away from a glioblastoma. And that is simply to, one, build awareness around this terrible disease. Two, is to raise funds that are needed in order to advance the treatment options for brain tumor patients, while also supporting them and caregivers through important programs. And three, and what we are doing here today, which is igniting hope. That is hope that we all need so desperately, especially in this time of isolation and separation. Hope that you're not alone, because you do not journey by yourself. Whether you are a patient, a caregiver, a loved one, a clinician, you have an entire community around you. So by sharing your stories, by posting your own photos of how you are participating, you all are helping ignite that important hope. Over the last year, it was evident that we needed to provide advanced support across the brain tumor community, and we took the opportunity to enhance our Brains for the Cure program. Brains for the Cure is an online navigator for patients and caregivers to be able to become their own advocates throughout their journey, to become educated on the latest treatment options, terms, and technologies, but also on how you all can support each other. And then also to connect through similar videos of people going through different circumstances as a patient or caregiver, but then also through our online support groups. Our Patient's Perspective meets every first Thursday of the month, and our Caregiver Conversations meets every last Thursday of the month. And this is all done via Zoom, so we can really connect those patients and caregivers across the country. We know that brain tumors, while still rare, have a big impact on the lives of people who face this disease or love someone faced. We want to bring that community together through those support groups. So please check out brainsforthecure.org. It's an amazing resource that is at the tip of your fingertips to provide that support now while the advancement of treatments and clinical trials is going on for the future of care. We are so excited and honored to have amazing national support again this year. VML-Y&R is an international marketing agency that helped fuel the fight against brain cancer at the very first race 19 years ago. They have literally been by our side every single step of the way.
Hi there, my name is John Cook. I'm the CEO of VML-Y&R. VML-Y&R is an advertising agency, and we're all over the world. We're about 13,000 people in about every place you can imagine, but we're headquartered right here in Kansas City, Missouri, and that's where we first met Head for the Cure. And that was 20 years ago, and we've been a proud sponsor and partner and teammates ever since, and we're proud of every one of those years and all we've been able to do together. And that's something that has obviously been part of our history for the last 20 years, but our commitment is it's something that will always be part of VML-Y&R going forward. Thanks for everything, Head for the Cure.
Harry Campbell and his Get Real program has generated almost $500,000 in donations back to Head for the Cure. Harry does so in honor of his wife, Chris, who is a brain tumor survivor herself. He travels around the country, even virtually, giving his inspirational speeches. His latest book and engagement, Get Real Mindset, challenges each of us individually to accept and adapt to the crookedness of life, which really, if you think about it right now, we all could use a little bit of that guidance. So check out more about Harry Campbell today. Thank you so much to Gary and his team at Weather 2020. Even virtually, it's important to have that clear and accurate future forecast to allow us to pick the best days for us to do our own individual 5K at home. And new this year as a national sponsor is Parisi Coffee. Through online givebacks and providing our morning coffee at our future in-person 5K events, Parisi Coffee is fueling our fight against brain cancer. And finally, Novacure has been an amazing partner since 2015. Their Optune device is used to treat glioblastoma patients in a very patient-forward approach. Join me now as we learn a little bit more about the Optune device.
I had my daughter, and now she's 19 months, and she's a little human that we created, so we pretty much watching her grow up.
You can say hi to the phone.
Hi.
Here we are at our turnaround point, and you say I'm totally alone. Aha! We found him. He's a shade seeker.
Sonny and daughter-in-law graduated from medical school.
We didn't know that we would have the opportunity to sit there in the audience and hold hands. Well, they recited the Hippocratic Oath. So that was pretty special.
I've got a daughter and I've got some grandkids and a husband, and every time we get to celebrate one of their birthdays, it's just one more time that I'm here for it. And I'm so thankful for that.
Happy birthday, dear Pierre.
I gave Pierre a really special 60th birthday party last year, which also happened to fall on the day of his diagnosis anniversary 1 year. There were 55 people there, and they came from all over. Friends came from Texas, from Chicago, from Oregon, from Washington, and it was really special for him because it was all his friends really celebrating his life.
My wife and I were able to go to Ireland this year, and we spent 8 days there, and it was a great time.
This thing called a 5-peak challenge. You basically do the 5 highest peaks in San Diego in one day. I'd been training for that before, and I kind of took a break because I'll obviously have surgery. And I built myself back up. I accomplished the 5-peak challenge, which was a big feat for me.
Pierre is a major football fan, being from Texas. So I bought tickets to a Chiefs game at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City and flew us out there for a game. During the halftime, the cheerleaders came and found us and gave him a signed ball by Chris Jones. So that was really amazing.
I'm an avid guitar player, so I got back into doing that, and I played a couple live gigs and just doing that with the Optune on. So I wasn't going to let cancer or the thought of cancer and the diagnosis kind of take away from living my life.
Each year on my craniversary, I send a note to my surgeon and to my doctor and just, tell them how appreciative I am that I'm still here to be able to send that note.
We're so honored to be able to announce our new partnership with the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. One of our amazing neuro-oncologists that we had worked for several years, Dr. Mike Schalitz, has now moved to Rutgers Cancer Institute as the Director of Neuro-Oncology. Rutgers Cancer Institute does amazing things to help support brain tumor patients and caregivers, and so we're so thrilled to help propel their efforts by adding them on as our local beneficiary. Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey offers a multidisciplinary neuro-oncology program for both adults and children. The team of highly specialized experts consists of neurosurgeons, neuro-oncologists, head and neck surgeons, radiation oncologists, neuropsychologists, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists who review cases in formatted multidisciplinary approach. Patients receive a personal, comprehensive approach to care for both their benign and malignant tumors and are evaluated for multimodality treatments such as chemotherapy, minimally invasive surgical options, and radiation therapy, including proton therapy and gamma knife. Thanks so much to Dr. Schalitz, to Lisa, to Stephanie, and the entire team at Rutgers. We started this partnership just over a month ago, so we know that we're going to continue to fuel their efforts through our fundraising to support the amazing things that they do to support and help those patients and caregivers who are going through the toughest time of their lives through a brain tumor diagnosis. So thank you so much, and we look forward to continuing the great work with you. Funds raised also help support the Brain Tumor Trials Collaborative. Head for the Cure actually helped fund the beginning of the BTTC when it was out of MD Anderson, and it has now since moved under the umbrella of the National Cancer Institute in Bethesda, Maryland. So these funds really help support clinical research to get off the ground in order to be cast across a wide spectrum of 33 different clinics across the country to help widen the spectrum of patients who can enroll in that and help with best practices to find new comprehensive treatments for all types of brain tumors. So thank you so much again for your support to help us fund the Brain Tumor Trials Collaborative. Now it's time for our virtual 5K. This interactive 5K is not only going to feature real runners and walkers, but it's also going to share the stories of the New Jersey and greater brain tumor community. By sharing our stories and bringing those all together, we are helping show that no one has to journey alone. So thank you for everyone who submitted your own wall of hope, your testimonials, your photos to help us celebrate the brain tumor community today. And you'll want to stick around afterwards because we're going to hear from the Rutgers Cancer Institute, as well as celebrate our survivors, our caregivers, and our top fundraising teams and individuals. You all are amazing, New Jersey. We want to continue the celebration, so make sure that you are sticking around after the 5K for that very important program. And now is the time for you to start doing your own 5K and to start posting those pictures by showing us how you are walking in your neighborhood, going for a hike, swimming, doing lawn care, whatever it is that you are getting out and getting active. Take that picture and post it to our Head for the Cure social media on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and make sure that you're tagging Head for the Cure. So now is the time to get this 5K started. We hope you enjoy the event, and we'll see you afterwards.
Hey all, I'm neuro-oncologist Dr. Michael Schalitz, and I'm here doing a video for the 5K Head for the Cure run here in New Jersey. I'm a neuro-oncologist, so I take care of people and families fighting brain cancer. Been in practice for about 16 years out in the Kansas City area, and I've recently moved back to New Jersey. I say moved back because I actually grew up here. And I was asked to do a 5K run for this event, and actually I'm honored to be able to do it. My first time back here in New Jersey in wow, a couple of decades. So the site of this is Homedale Park, and you can see behind me the lovely green landscape. This is actually where I grew up, and this is where back in the late 70s and early 80s did cross country and ran here for soccer and all that. So so let's get going and let's get the run started. All right guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the old 3-mile cross country trail back that I did in the 1970s. Fortunately, I have my walker with me, so we'll give it a shot. Catch up with you later.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid.
Hi, my name's Julie Sporle, and I'm here to tell you my story. In 2006, my husband Scott was diagnosed with brain cancer at the age of 33. When he was diagnosed, he was predicted to only have 3 to 5 more years to spend with our then 2- and 4-year-olds. But I was not going to settle for that prediction. So for the next 10 years, I tried to find a treatment that would save my husband, the father of my children. Over those 10 years, we made countless trips to multiple hospitals and multiple doctors up and down the East Coast. There were too many surgeries and treatments to keep track of, several trips in an ambulance, many seizures, and endless nights spent away from our family. After standard treatment, we participated in several clinical trials. Some showed more promise than others. He took an immunotherapy drug that was working to shrink the tumor, but his liver wasn't tolerating it, so he had to stop. I knew that with each treatment, we were buying time that might lead to a cure. I was hopeful, but on June 9th, 2016, 10 years after his diagnosis, Scott lost his battle with brain cancer at age 43. Although I didn't find that treatment to save him, we had many more years than were predicted, and I'll always be grateful for those years that I had with him and that he had with our kids.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and 7 years ago I was diagnosed with a ganglioglioma brain tumor. Today I'm out here running for Head for the Cure, doing the virtual 5K to support other survivors like me. So let's get started.
If you ever change your mind.
Hello, I'm Adam Lichtenstein. I am a board member of Head for the Cure. My family and I joined the board a couple years ago. We had originally founded an organization called the Voices Against Brain Cancer. It was in memory of my brother, Gary Lichtenstein. He passed away of a glioblastoma multiforme at the age of 24. I'm honored to be a board member of Head for the Cure. We raise millions of dollars towards research grants. We support groups around the country, and we continue to raise awareness for this devastating disease. One of the things that we do at Head for the Cure that I'm really proud of is an online navigator for new patients, new caregivers. You know, when someone you love is first diagnosed, it's a whirlwind, and we've created a sort of a navigator for you to help. You know, who to go to, who to call, what to do. It's called Brains for the Cure. It's a fantastic resource to patients and caregivers. You know, Head for the Cure will continue to raise awareness, raise money towards research, fund support groups, and continue to make a difference in the brain cancer community. We are proud of our work. We are proud of the people that we have impacted, and we will continue to do what we can in order to find a cure.
Bring it on home to me, yeah, 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 yeah. One more thing, I try to treat you right, but you stayed out tonight. But I'll forgive you, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Bring it on home. Moving right on a Saturday night, everybody wants to be moving across the floor, dancing to the beat. Love's in the air, you're my kind of girl. Time to get together all across the world.
The 5K event to raise money for brain cancer research and to help families who are going through treatments is really important to me. We started participating in these events way back in 2007. Back then it was for an organization called Have a Chance. We formed a team called the Sporl Brainstormers, and we were overwhelmed by the support of our family and friends who came to participate with us. Even Scott's surgeon came that first year. We continued to participate every year, and our team became so big that it was hard to locate everyone in the crowd. So we ordered orange baseball caps for all of our team members to wear. Some years the event took place in November, and we ordered orange winter hats so that we can find everybody. Each year I ran out of hats because our team continued to grow. The support of our family and friends at the 5K event each year motivated us to keep fighting and to know that we weren't alone. At some point, the Have a Chance organization merged with an organization called Voices Against Brain Cancer. We continued each year to walk and raise money, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. One year, the event was on Scott's birthday, November 17th. And after Scott gave an inspiring speech as a survivor, Tony Danza was there, and he sang happy birthday to him at the event. It is definitely a day I'll never forget. The 5K event was always a time for us to feel recharged in the fight. Over the years, the Voices organization connected us with other families going through the same battle. These people became our friends. We got together at each other's houses and shared our struggles and our accomplishments. We talked about new treatments and hopeful ways that we could continue fighting the cancer. Voices helped us find clinical trials and the best doctors. They were part of our support team. Then a few years after Scott's death, Voices Against Brain Cancer merged with the Head for the Cure organization. The Head for the Cure organization is continuing to raise money to find a cure and to help those who are newly diagnosed. Just this past month, I reached out to the Head for the Cure organization and asked them to call a young mom in my area who was just diagnosed with a GBM. They connected with her right away and have been helping her and her family with new patient resources and support. I told Scott that I would never stop. I would never stop participating in events that help others and raise money to find a cure. That is why I participate every year, every single year, even in a pandemic, even virtually.
Okay, so that was the end of mile 1. I just want to share a little bit about what Head for the Cure means to me. Head for the Cure has given me a platform where I can share my experience, I can share my story, and they've really given me a community of people who have been through similar experiences I have. I've really been able to turn my experience as a survivor and a patient into helping other people, to helping raise awareness, helping to raise funding, and helping to raise hope for people who are going through situations similar to what I went through. So, I'm ready to get started on mile 2.
Hey y'all, thanks for sticking this out. We're about at the mile-ish, mile and a quarter-ish. You gotta love cross country because you don't know exactly. And I'm definitely not in high school anymore. You know, one thing this reminds me of is, you know, there's a couple of steep hills. You got a little bit back there. We're gonna go up to the bowl here in just a second, which is pretty definite uphill. And, you know, remember as a kid, not knowing if I could do it, and then not knowing if I could race it. And this really taught me perseverance and overcoming obstacles. I just want to say a couple of words for Head for the Cure. I've known the organization now for a decade and a half, since my time in Kansas City, and I'm just amazed at the obstacles and what they've overcome. The leadership there is just amazing, and they raise this money purely for research for patients and families fighting brain cancer. As a doc in the field, I can tell you the tools that we have to fight these diseases are pretty limited, and we do the best that we can with what we have, but we are definitely needing more, and we're needing better options for that each next patient that comes to clinic. And through their funding of organizations like the Brain Tumor Trials Collaborative, BTTC, Brains for the Cure, an awesome website with a lot of information for patients and families. This is a group that absolutely is taking the fight to this disease, and they have my full support behind it. All right, we're gonna head off and we're gonna hit the bowl here and share with you one of my young challenges in life.
As a local of the tri-state area, we are lucky at NovoCure to partner with Head for the Cure in support of all people impacted by glioblastoma. Thank you for getting outside for the brain cancer community, and remember to stay hydrated.
Music knows it is and always will be one of the things that life just won't quit. But here are some of music's pioneers. A time will not allow us to forget. Well, there's Bessie Miller, Satchmo, and the king of all Sadu. And with a voice like Ella's ringing out, there's no way your band can lose. They can feel it all. got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed.
Hi, my name is Chris Garner, and I am a new supporter for Head for the Cure. I used to go through life blinded by the scary truths of cancer because it didn't affect me directly. That was until I met my girlfriend Lisa, who was brave enough to tell me her story. Her story is a story of perseverance, a story of strength, a story of inspiration, and now it's a story of love. I love you, Lisa, and I want to share your story. I want to fight with you, and I want to spread awareness around the world. In the United States alone, 25,000 people this year will be diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. That's 25,000 people that need us to fight with them. 25,000 people that need their stories told. And 25,000 people that need our love and support. Please support Head for the Cure, because when we come together, we shall prevail.
Funds raised from the New Jersey 5K helped support clinical trials at the Brain Tumor Trials Collaborative. We began a new partnership with the BTTC and Agenus Inc. in support of the multi-center clinical trial protocol that was developed in 2018 and really ignited throughout 2019. This protocol includes radiation therapy plus temozolomide and pembro without and with HSPPC 96 in newly diagnosed glioblastoma patients. This clinical trial continued to grow last year to include 13 participating BTTC centers and the National Institutes of Health. The purpose of this trial is to determine whether the addition of pembro and Agenus's HSPPC 96 vaccine prophase improves the standard treatment for glioblastomas. The trial expects to enroll 108 patients.
Okay, that's the end of mile 2. So before I start mile 3, I just wanted to share a little bit about the people who have been important in my journey as a brain tumor patient and survivor. The doctors that I have had, the care I've received has been so important to me and so special. I'm so thankful to all of the caregivers, my family, my friends, everyone who supported me on this journey. And I'm especially thankful for Head for the Cure, who has been fighting to help find a cure for brain tumors for patients like me and for survivors all over the country. So let's get started with mile 3.
You know, I guess a word about why I'm doing this. Yeah, I think Head for the Cure is an awesome organization. I think their money goes for research and you know, moving the bar forward and taking care of patients. But a big part of it is the patients and families themselves who, you know, it just amazes me, the strength and the courage and the fortitude to stick with it and overcome amazing obstacles, and to teach me what the meaning of life is and what quality of life is all about. And you know, every day I go into work and somebody cuts you off at the intersection, or you know, you don't get your change at a coffee shop, and you realize, you know what, those things are just so small in the big scheme of what we do. And so I'm honored to go into work every day and do what I do, and I'm honored to be able to walk the journey with all of the patients and their families who, like I say, honor me to make me part of their journey. So we'll get going for the last part of this. Again, I'm super excited to be back in New Jersey with Rutgers at the Cancer Institute there in New Brunswick. But again, this is for the patients and the families and everybody who supports them, and I'm honored to be part of this journey. All right, guys, see you at the finish.
got. You're over there, sitting in a chair while the music's spinning high. Ooh, let me show you how good this night could be. Instead of sitting around, you can tear the house down if you come along with me. Ooh, come on, girl, show me what you do. Oh, I don't care if it takes all night, if it means get close to you. Ooh, come on, baby, look into this face. We can dance and do anything to interrupt this place. Oh, I'm getting very tired of waiting. Oh, there's no time for hesitating. Didn't I say I want you, girl? Let me show, let me show, let me show. I'm giving you the whole wide world. Didn't I say you got a way about you? So baby, get on time, 'cause you know I can't live without you. Yeah. Oh! Time to change your mind, to let good things slip away. Ooh, let me show you how good this night could be. Stay sitting around, you can tear the house down if you come along with me. Oh, I'm getting very tired of waiting. Oh, and there's no time for hesitating. Didn't I say I want you, girl? Let me show, let me show, let me show. We're giving you the whole wide world. Didn't I say you got a way about you? So baby, get on down, 'cause you don't get live without you. Ooh, baby, baby, live the life you got. You're over there, sitting in a chair on the music spinning high. Ooh, come on, baby, look into the face. We can dance and do anything to interrupt this place. Oh, I'm getting very tired of waiting. Oh, and there's no time for hesitating. Didn't I say I want you, girl? Let me show, let me show, let me show. We're giving you the whole wide world. Didn't I say you got a way about you? So baby, get on down, 'cause no. Didn't I say I want you, girl? Let me show, let me show, let me show. We're giving you the whole wide world. Didn't I say you got a way about you? So baby, get on down, 'cause no. Say I want you, girl.
When I met her, she was finer than all my dreams. How was I to know she'll be the one to scheme? I gave her all my love, trust and affection, but I was much too blind to see her next direction. When she told me she didn't want my love anymore, it gave me such a surprise she never heard before. When I asked her why, she didn't give me an answer. But she won't see me cry, 'cause I found love soon after. Finding love isn't hard to do. Keep on searching, love is gonna find you. Oh yeah, 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 love is gonna find you.
Dr. Shallots, you got this. Come on, yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You can do it, you can do it. Yeah, Dr. Shallots, yeah. Let's go. Woo! Yeah.
Hey everybody, thanks for sticking this one out with the old guy here. So, two last things. One, I want to thank the team behind the team. You know, my wife and kids and all the friends and family supporting the move out to New Jersey to take care of my parents in their last years. My colleagues, not just in New Jersey and in Kansas, but across the country, the neuro-oncologists, the radiation folks, neurosurgeons, rehab docs, neuropsychologists, the neurologists, palliative medicine folks, everybody who shares part of the journey of these patients and their families. A big thank you to not just the village, but the metropolis that's behind this. And I guess my one last comment, when I said at the top of the bowl that this has always made me think of the us separating from the rest of us, I didn't mean climbing a hill. I mean everybody who's faced that personal challenge that you didn't think you could get through, and you dusted yourself up, you picked yourself up, and you kept marching, and you did it. That's what I meant. Have a great evening, everybody, and thanks.
Okay, that's the end of our virtual Head for the Cure 5K. Thanks everybody for running along with me, and thank you so much for supporting Head for the Cure.
I'm Dr. Stephen Labuti, Director of the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey and Senior Vice President for Oncology Services at RWJ-Barnabas Health. I'm often asked why a patient would want to go to a National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center. And I think the most important reason is that that patient can have confidence that that cancer center meets and exceeds the highest standards of integrated clinical research, basic discovery research, and exceptional cancer care for patients with a variety of cancer types. Those cancer centers also focus on giving back to their community and trying to advance not only the knowledge and treatments for cancer, but also to lower the burden of cancer incidence and cancer mortality in the communities that they serve. The partnership between the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey and RWJ-Barnabas Health brings together the state's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center and the state's largest health system. The fact that New Jersey has an NCI designated comprehensive center is quite an accomplishment for the state and quite a benefit to the population within that state. And that benefit comes from the science, the clinical research, and the exceptional clinical care that we are able to deliver to patients within the state, and the research base that we have that helps us drive new discovery and to tailor what we investigate and the things that we study in our laboratories to the cancers that most commonly affect patients in New Jersey. An additional benefit of having a National Cancer Institute designated center in New Jersey is that we serve as a hub for enabling cancer research across the state. We have partnerships with other entities and universities in the state, such as Princeton University, which is in fact the consortium partner of the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. This allows us to leverage the strength of the largest public research university in New Jersey, along with the largest private research university, to drive forward discovery and investigation in a way that would otherwise not be possible. Another advantage of having this center of gravity in New Jersey is our close proximity to pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies in the state, which allows that synergy between academic investigation and pharmaceutical investigation to more rapidly deliver cutting-edge discoveries and clinical trial activity to the patients of our state.
Thank you again to our amazing new partners at the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. And thanks again to Dr. Shalitz, to Lisa, to Chris, to Julie, and everybody else who shared their stories with us today. This is one of my favorite parts of our presentation, and this is where we get to celebrate some of our survivors and caregivers with our Keeping the Faith and our Legacy of Love nominations. What's fantastic is that since we are virtually, there's still time that if you would like to submit your own Keeping the Faith or Legacy of Love in honor of a survivor or caregiver who continues to inspire you with their actions each and every day, you can still do so, and we'll be happy to share that online so the entire community can celebrate alongside with your nomination.
Head for the Cure 5K events are not only successful fundraisers in the fight against brain cancer, but unique tributes for those currently fighting this terrible disease and remembering those who have lost their battles. Head for the Cure was started in honor of a man named Chris Anthony. Chris's motto was always keeping the faith. He lived it daily. He signed off every email with keeping the faith. And his faith enabled him to maintain his grace, dignity, courage, and strength throughout his illness. That's why every year we honor brain cancer patients and their loved ones with a special recognition we call Keeping the Faith. Each of their stories is personal and special, and all are inspiring. Lisa Jorling, nominated by Kevin and Linda Jorling. Our lives changed on July 3rd, 2013. Lisa was 19 years old and just finished her first year of college. We took her to the ER because her hand went totally numb. She also was having headaches that were becoming more frequent for the last 7 months. The CAT scan showed a brain tumor. She had a biopsy 5 days later and an awake craniotomy 8 days after the biopsy. The neurosurgeon told us it was a successful total resection, but there's always a chance of microscopic cells left behind. Her pathology report was classified grade 1 ganglioglioma. Lisa has nerve damage on 3 fingers on her right hand. Even after physical therapy, she never regained the feeling. She went back to college 6 weeks after her brain surgery with her neurosurgeon's approval and graduated in 4 years with a degree in elementary education. She's beginning her 5th year of teaching 4th grade and has touched the lives of many students already. Lisa's follow-up scans were clear until May 2018. The scan shows a change that is being monitored. The doctor and tumor board are being conservative and watching her future scans to see if they remain stable. She is having more symptoms and tingling in her right hand and new symptoms on her left side. She has started a seizure medication. Lisa has been so strong and courageous through her brain tumor battle. She has a deep faith and stays positive. She has never complained why her or why this happened. Lisa and her family and friends have participated in the Head for the Cure Kansas City 5K, bike ride, and the St. Louis 5K every year since her surgery. Lisa really does keep the faith. She is loved more than words can say. Thank you for your courage and for allowing us to honor you. The Legacy of Love Award was implemented at our North Texas event in 2011 in honor of Stevie Patrick. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 28. And although Stevie would go on to battle brain cancer for 3.5 years, her heart was always open to reach out and help others, even as she was going through an incredibly difficult time. Stevie always took the high road and walked through each day with great integrity and a big smile on her face. This award is easily defined by actions of integrity, encouragement, determination, and truly loving and serving others, especially those in need. The recipient of this must have a strong desire to encourage and help others. This deserving person must be a leader each day and also have the courage to smile in the midst of adversity. We'd now like to share their story. Julie Sporel, nominated by Seth, Deborah, and Alicia Amdur. In our situation, she is not the traditional caregiver that tends to be recognized for the legacy of love. We did not have a pre-existing relationship with her before our family members' battle with GBM, which makes her dedication and efforts to help us and our family member all that more admirable. Only one of us has even met Julie in person, which was almost by coincidence less than 2 months ago. She lives next door to a close friend and happened to be outside enjoying a spring evening while one of us were visiting. At that time, our close family member had only recently discovered her brain tumor. She did not yet have a diagnosis. Julie offered her help and support if the diagnosis should turn out as feared. 2 weeks later, when we learned the tumor was, in fact, GBM, we reached out to Julie. We were expecting what most would in a situation of seeking the advice of a virtual stranger. A conversation about treatments and some recommendations for doctors, perhaps a few check-in text messages in the future. That alone would have been inordinately helpful and gracious. But that was not what we got with Julie. She has spent hours upon hours on the phone with us, discussing treatment plans, doctors, potential trials, and generally providing support. Instead of spending time as she chooses, perhaps with family and friends, she researches potential trials for which our family member might be eligible, helps her get in to see certain doctors, and has connected us with this wonderful organization. At one point, we even said to her that we'd refrain from bothering her during work hours. Her response, "This is more important." This, helping a GBM patient who she had never met before, and her distraught family members who Julie barely knew, was more important. Julie has been absolutely essential. Essential isn't even a strong enough word in helping us navigate through the labyrinthian world of GBM treatments, treatment centers, doctors, and clinical trials. Without her utterly invaluable guidance and insight, we can say without a doubt that our family would not be seeing the doctors and receiving the treatment she is today. Words cannot describe how enormously grateful we all are. The road ahead for our family member is long and arduous, no doubt. But it is off to an infinitely better start thanks to Julie.
Thank you again for allowing us to celebrate all of you with our Keeping the Faith and Legacy of Love recognitions, and congratulations to our recipients. We know that this disease has taken too many lives from us. And while these individuals aren't physically by our side, we continue to carry on their memories, their stories, their laughter, and their photos, and carry those in our hearts and our minds and our souls each and every day. And at this time, we'd love to remember some of those individuals with our Celebration of Life tribute. We also know that you may not have had the opportunity to submit your own, but you can still do so by going to headforthecure.org/New Jersey. So now please join us for our Celebration of Life tribute. We've had tremendous support from our teams again this year, and it's my pleasure to be able to recognize those top teams and individuals who have gone above and beyond with encouraging registrations and fundraising to support this important cause. Now for our top teams. For our largest teams, our first place winner, congratulations to the Sporal Brainstormers. And our top fundraising team again this year, number 1, Sporal Brainstormers. Give them all a huge round of applause. And now to our individuals who have gone above and beyond in fundraising. Thanks so much for your support. Our first place, Angela Broadbeck. Congratulations to all of our teams and our individuals for all that you've done in order to support brain tumor research and patient programs. Thank you again so much, everybody, for showing up today by registering and donating and for posting your pictures of how you all participating. You continue to help us fight brain tumors by funding clinical research, patient programs, and supporting those in the middle of this journey. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, if you haven't registered yet, there's still time to do so. Encourage your friends, your loved ones to support this alongside with you by registering at headforthecure.org/New Jersey. Registrations remain open through Monday, June 7th. And donations will continue to remain open. There's plenty of time to start your Facebook fundraisers, to do your own third-party fundraising event, your own neighborhood walk, whatever you'd like. We're here to help support you, and we love to brainstorm new ideas of how we can continue to support cancer research at Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey and the Brain Tumor Trials Collaborative. We know that we are apart right now. We couldn't get to hug you all, see you across the finish line. But the important thing is that everyone knows that they are not alone in this journey. And we cannot wait to see you all in person next year for the annual Head for the Cure 5K New Jersey in person. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your weekend.